Okay, so E3 is happening this weekend, and I want to just go ahead and just make a quick video talking about things that I expect to see and that I hope to see. I'm not going to be going through all the companies. I'm just going to be talking about a select few that I'm interested in, the developers that I follow. I have a little list pulled up here, so let me just go ahead and get that. Alright, cool. I'm not going to be doing a lot of editing in this video. This is going to be pretty much raw. I might edit something here and there, maybe add some like trailers in the background or something while I speak, but like this is going to be pretty bare bones. So let's just get into it. First of all, we have Square Enix that's going to be on Sunday, June 13th. I am particularly excited for this one because I'm hoping to see some more news on Final Fantasy 16. That's probably one of my most anticipated games as of right now. They released a trailer for, I believe, in last year's Sony State of Play. And it's actually headed by the Final Fantasy 14 dev team, which is really dope. And I remember when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was like an expansion for Final Fantasy 14 because the characters look like they were pulled right out of that game and put into that one. So I'm really excited to be seeing that. The game looks pretty interesting. It looks like they adopted more of Final Fantasy 7 and 15's combat style, so it's not going to be turn-based anymore. I think they're slowly trying to steer their audience away from turn-based games because I guess just as time goes on, more and more people just aren't into those games, unfortunately, which makes me sad because they're like the games I mainly play. I mean, that's what my fucking channel is named after, for God's sake. But yeah, so I think it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be set back in like its medieval roots, and from the trailer I saw, it looked like people have this curse that turns them into espers. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. That's just kind of what I gleaned from the trailer. And the combat really did look like a mix between like the recent two Final Fantasy games and maybe even something like Devil May Cry. It looked very action heavy. I'm assuming it's probably going to be open world, but I don't really have anything else really to say on that because that's all the information I have. And then I highly doubt we will get any news on the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. I know we'll probably get some promotional trailer or something for Intergrade that's coming out on PS5, showcasing the new DLC that is PS5 exclusive only, which still pisses me off. I don't know why the hell Square would do that. I mean, I get it, new generation, they want to push people into buying their new consoles, but people can't buy what they can't fucking find, Square. I'm just saying. Anyways, so yeah, I highly doubt we will hear anything from that. I'm most likely will get an update for that next year at next year's E3 if there even is going to be one. And then I guess the last game that we might see is Forspoken. They had that trailer that released back in March. It also looks like another big open world action not turn-based. It looks like another big open world like action adventure game, and I haven't seen much of it to form much of an opinion other than, you know, it looked cool. Main character looked cool, and from the trailer she's darting all over the damn place, so it seems like that'll be interesting. And then the Dragon Quest team just recently had their live stream, and they announced the Dragon Quest 3 HD remake, like the HD 2D series is what they're calling it now. It's essentially a remake in like the same style as Octopath Traveler, and I absolutely adored that game, so I'm 100% on board for that and really excited for it. But whether or not we're going to hear anything about it or not at Square Enix's conference is kind of iffy. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, and one more game. We might see some more news on Final Fantasy XIV's expansion Endwalker. They just released trailers for that all around the world a couple weeks ago, and I did play that game. I actually have played all the way through Shadowbringers. I didn't get to all the end game content, but that game is really sick, and I'll definitely be picking up Endwalker for sure when it comes out at the end of this year. But since it has a release date and everything, and also Yoshi P, the Final Fantasy team, they have like a live stream once a week almost, always showing new stuff for Endwalker and shit, so they might not even be at this conference, and if so, then it's not that big of a deal because it's coming out soon anyways, right? And let me see, going down the list, we have the next one that would interest me would be Capcom. A lot of people, including myself, are wanting a new Mega Man game, and I mean, it's been, what was it? Mega Man 11 came out around 2018, I think, or 2019? 2018, I think. It's been a couple of years. It's been 3 or 4 years, and it's probably time for another Mega Man game. Whether we're gonna get Mega Man 12, or a lot of people have been wanting Mega Man X9. It's kind of up in the air about that, so we're just gonna have to wait and see on that. But I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for Mega Man 12. I've played like every game in the series, at least in that series. I haven't played all the X series, but I have played all like the numbered like 1 through 11 games. Those are my personal favorites, so I'm hoping to see more for that. And then we might probably get some more news about Monster Hunter. I don't know if it'll be in Capcom's conference or if it'll be in Nintendo's conference. I think Monster Hunter stuff might actually be in Nintendo's conference, since Rise and Monster Hunter Stories I think are both Switch exclusive currently. And then I know the Resident Evil 8 Village team is going to be there for whatever reason. I mean, that game just came out, so they might have some DLC already planned, which that's kind of fast, but I don't really think it took that long for Resident Evil 7's DLC to come out after it was released, so that might be something cool to see. But I'm assuming we'll probably see a lot more of Capcom's like fighting games. I think we might see something on Street Fighter 6. I'm not super big into fighting games. Be really cool to see another Dragon Ball game, but I don't know if that's Capcom. I think that's actually Bandai Namco. But then anyways, moving on to the big one that I'm personally excited for the most is Nintendo's Direct, which is Tuesday, June 15th at 9 a.m. And Nintendo's showcase is actually going for about, let's see, till 2:30, so 5.5 hours. I know that their Treehouse is supposed to be anywhere between 3 to 3.5 hours, and then their Nintendo Direct is supposed to be around 40 to 50 minutes. So we can go ahead and just pull this list down because that's all I really had to show. Let me switch back to here. So I'm really excited for Nintendo's conference. I think it's time. The Switch Pro, the Super Nintendo Switch, new Nintendo Switch, whatever the hell they're going to call it, I am absolutely positive that we're going to get a release date, and there's probably even going to be pre-orders that go live on that day. From what I've been reading from like media gaming outlets and everything, apparently GameStop is actually gearing up for some kind of special Zelda event that Nintendo is telling them to get ready for starting next week, which I'm assuming is probably around the time for the Direct. So that kind of makes me wonder if we're actually going to get a release date for Breath of the Wild 2. I personally don't think that we're going to be seeing it until, I want to go ahead and say like March of next year. We might get I'm positive we're going to get a release date, but it's going to be in March of 2022. That's going to be my prediction for that, so I don't like keep rambling on about that. And then I think we might get some more updated news on Skyward Sword that comes out next month. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for something related to Zelda 35th anniversary. Honestly, it's been so long. I think because Zelda's anniversary is in February. It's been, what, 4 or 5 months now since then, so I'm kind of starting to lose faith over whether or not we're going to get like a Zelda 35th anniversary. There have been a lot of rumors of like a Twilight Princess Wind Waker double pack coming out for Switch, which, I mean, I'll buy it, I'll play it. I mean, the Zelda shit, I buy everything Zelda related, so definitely will be picking up anything that they announce. But like, I'm really hoping that they do something to celebrate Zelda's 35th anniversary, because I mean, come on, Nintendo, that's like your second biggest property now. Like, it's almost as popular as Mario. I don't think it'll ever beat Mario, but it's like right up there. I mean, when you talk about Nintendo, people think of Mario and probably Legend of Zelda now, especially with Breath of the Wild. I mean, that got like so many new fans into the series. I think it had like a 70-80% adoption rate or something like that when the Switch first came out. So yeah, I'm positive there's probably gonna be a lot of Zelda things in this Direct. And then what else? I really want to see more on Metroid Prime. They teased a Metroid 5 at the end of the Samus Returns remake, and so that came out a couple years ago too. So I'm hoping we at least get something about Metroid, either Prime trilogy for Switch. I don't know if we will get any news for Metroid Prime 4 because we did have the team come out either a year or 2 years ago around this time now saying that like they had actually completely scrapped everything that they worked on and they were restarting from ground zero for development because it was just going in a direction that they didn't really said that seemed to fit. So which I totally 100% support. You know, Miyamoto, his famous quote, like a delayed game still has a chance to be good, but a rushed game is forever bad. You know, whatever. So I'm totally all for that. I'm hoping they take their time and they do a good job on that. But it's kind of it's really up in the air whether or not we're actually going to see any kind of news on that. A lot of people are anticipating Bayonetta 3. I haven't played any of those series. I do plan on picking them up eventually and playing through them because I hear nothing but good things. I recently have gotten into Platinum's games. I just like finished Astral Chain a couple months ago and I thought that game was fucking sick. So I really like their work and their games that they make. So I'm actually kind of hyped for Bayonetta 3 even though I haven't played the other two. I'll definitely be picking those up and playing it before Bayonetta 3 comes out. We might get a new Smash character. I've been seeing like rumors around saying that like apparently like the Doom guy is gonna be the next Smash character. I don't know if that has any kind of merit to it, but there's been a lot of media news outlets saying that like it's some kind of like an official leak by Nintendo that they may have accidentally let out. So I don't know. I think that'll be fucking hilarious if they do have Doomslayer guy. I mean, they have Steve from Minecraft, so why not him by this point, you know? And yeah, I really think that's all that there is that I'm looking forward to, or that I think that's gonna be at this E3. I mean, obviously we didn't have the E3 last year, it got canceled because, you know, COVID. I don't have to tell you that everyone knows by now. Everyone talks about how everything was just set back because of COVID last year. But like games were still in development even though they were slowed down. I'm kind of expecting this E3 to be a banger, honestly. I mean, new Nintendo Switch, a lot of new Zelda stuff, and there's been a lot of IP that like we've been waiting on. Oh, SMT5 got leaked. It's going to be coming out in November, so I'm positive we're going to be seeing some news about that. I'm pretty fucking excited for that. I haven't even picked up SMT3 Nocturne for the Switch yet, but I'm going to be picking it up pretty soon, probably after me and my wife finish Monster Hunter Rise, because we've been talking about that quite a bit. But yeah, like I said, this video was very raw. I'm probably sound like I'm all over the place. I'm tired. It's pretty late at night, but I wanted to get my thoughts out there before it got too late. But yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions on it. I'm really hoping that we finally get a release date for Breath of the Wild 2. That's, besides Final Fantasy 16, that's like my most hotly anticipated game, obviously. So anyways guys, I think that's gonna do that for this video. So until next time, see ya.